Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Dredge. So, where do we find ourselves? Well, we still need to do the final light. Now the real juicy question is, well, I've got some damage there. The juicy question is, what fish do I need for the last one? Did I find that out? Oh, I cannot remember. Let's grab these. Pick up, needs a repair. Needs a repair. Oops. So, fish market, sell all that off. Shipyard, repairs. There we go. Okay, so I've still got one explosive. 2 explosive. Well, I can buy a research part. That's nice. What were we researching last time? I mean, we obviously going to want that rod at some point. We got this big engine here. Nets. Nets. Heavy duty trawl neck. The ability to trawl oceanic is pretty wild. But we've only got one research anyway, so I'm not that stressed. Floating dock to check in, wooden parts needed. We're close to maxing out the ship, but I don't know if I necessarily want to push that. What's going on here? Ooh, look at this thing. Disgusting. Pursuits. There's a few that we must have missed along the way. Find more tablets. We did put one in storage. Light the statues. We're about to get the last one. Okay, no, I think we're pretty good. I get it. Let's get a wriggle on. We'll head around the long way, I reckon. Meow. Look at me fly, baby. Just zipping along. Little speedy boy. Alright, there he is. Oh, he's got a little posse. Got some dredgeables. Maybe let's do some dredging while we're in the neighborhood. Oops. Yeah. Oh, they're looking a little keen. Ah, you goose. Oh my god, really? Oh, I've done it 3 in a row for whatever reason. My brain. Oh my god, please, game. I don't know. It's not the game, it's my brain. All that for a ring. What's that about? Oh, is this one of those dudes that's going to stand up? Stone hums quietly. Place your hand on the stone. Does not respond. Okay. Fair enough. Let's try through here. Yeah, I could have sworn I asked it. Oh, that's right. It wants a aberrant fish. Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry, team. I had a bit of a brain fart. Oh, not this again. We're just reenacting this. Ooh, aberrant. There we go. Oh, nice. That's what we want. Is it worth trying it again? My cooldown, You feeling greedy, Scarlet? Yes, I am. Let's go. Hey, there we go. What is this? Encrusted talisman. Stone tablet surrounded by a tooth and bone. Fishing speed 330%. Oh my god. Are you kidding? Can I put it into my storage? I think I have. I think that's exactly what I've done. Oh no, I don't have a light. God, no. Gotta go fast. Oh no, I've damaged my engine. Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Leave me be! Ugh. I mean, I don't think I lost anything important. If I still got, as long as I've still got the flame, I guess that's all that matters. There we go. Hey, cold flame roars. Preparations complete. The Fanatic awaits. Alright, well... honestly, let's get our car back in working order, because it smashed my main engine. I guess that's the danger of having one really big jacked engine. Look how slow we are now. Oh, I hate the music around here. It makes me very sad. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's very creepy. Oh, I'm so slow. I'm so fat and slow. Well, look, it was bound to happen. I was bound to take that sort of damage at some point. It's just a shame it happened right when it happened. Alright, so what's going on here? We've got this thing. 330 fishing speed is no joke. Yes. Let's go. Alright. Let's see what this is all about then, shall we? No, I'm excited. Probably won't be a conclusion. Oh, you know what? He'll just give me the necklace or whatever. Right? Whatever it is that I need, my MacGuffin. Fanatic. What is it? The flames are lit. Ah, I can feel it. The chill of the deep touches us now. It is time. Come. You follow him up the steps of the temple. At the top is a black stone altar. Stacked high upon the altar are layers of dark, damp wood. He draws the antique pocket watch from his robe. It sways hypnotically in the breeze. It is almost yours. May it mark the start of your journey and the end. Still holding the pocket watch in one hand, he clambers aboard the pyre and raises his scroll. He begins to chant. Oh my god, what are you doing? Maybe just stand back and let this happen. You are rooted to the spot. The wind picks up swirling sea spray around the altar. A cold blue flame rises from the sodden wood at his feet. Look away. Stop this. Nah, say nothing. Let's go. Let it happen. The freezing blaze climbs his legs. His chanting continues, no pain detected in his voice. He lifts his arms skyward. Seconds later, the inferno engulfs him. It rages for a moment, then abruptly dies away. A cold mist pools around the floor of the temple, briefly before the wind sweeps it into the sea. No trace of the Fanatic remains. The pyre is cold and damp. Inspect the pyre. There we go, there's our pocket watch. You take the pocket watch, it's freezing cold. It vibrates in your palm, clock hands spinning wildly below the cracked surface. Well, we'll probably just teleport out of here, right? Manifest. No real need for us to linger. I don't think. Here we go. You climb the broken steps to the old mansion, the waves swelling and crashing against the basalt columns that surround you. You pause before crossing the threshold to deliver the relic. He approaches, drawing closer with an incessant ticking. You have the pocket watch. You take out the watch, its once frozen hands are now inexplicably twitching in a rhythmic struggle, trying but failing to move forwards. You place it in front of the collector. Though it has been some decades since I last laid eyes upon this, the sound of its mechanisms has grown no less unpleasant. And with that, our collection is complete. I must admit I am surprised I did not think you had the determination for such a job. Now, with these 5 relics in our possession, only one thing remains. I suspect that you know by now. Nah? Know what? It will become apparent soon enough. We must make one final voyage. This time, I will be with you. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready, big dog. Let's go. You're entering the final phase of the game. Your progress will not be saved from this point onwards. Do you wish to continue? Will not be saved. So presumably, if you want to come back and do all the collecting and that, it'll be from here. Hang on, let's just say no. So be it, return when you are prepared. I mean save and quit. I haven't really been save stating or anything like that. So, I don't know, YOLO, she'll be right. I'm ready. Let's go. Warning one more time, your progress will not be saved from this point onwards. Are you sure you wish to continue? Again, I appreciate the multiple warnings, but your warning is vague. I'm assuming that are you saying that you're going to delete my save after I clock the game? Because that could be inferred. Your progress will not be saved from this point onwards. So, is it saved from... I'm going to go no. I'm all for multiple warnings. In fact, I advocate for that. But your warnings are frigging vague. So you've just given me 2 warnings back to back, and your warning is not clear. That just makes me even more nervous. What we're going to do is we're going to go save and exit. Right? Just to make sure that save state exists. You could have worded this infinitely better. They're impressing upon you of the severity of progressing, yet the warning... Anyway, I've already said it. The warning is vague. The relics are coming with us. We should wait for the fog to thicken. With luck, the seas will remain unaware of our intentions. Okay. Unaware of our intentions. Now, our destination is the open expanse to the west of Greater Marrow. It's marked on the map. We must not tarry on the open waters, not with such a significant cargo. Make haste. The collector is aboard your vessel, yet he takes no cargo space. Okay. Map. Greater Marrow over there. It's like the one part of the map that I've never really been. And you're forcing me out. Oh! In the dark. Whatever. We will persevere. Oh, it's the light. I wonder why the light stopped. Remember at the very beginning of the game, this light was there. Oh, whatever. Here we go. Here we go. Immediately hits my head on the door frame. That's a great analogy for me playing video games in general. Presses the start button, immediately does something wrong. I have an uncanny knack for it. Okay, here we go. This is the place. This is where she was taken from us, and where we can get at last, can at last bring her back. Only here, and only because of what we've achieved. He opens the book and begins to read aloud. Oh, let's go! To release a lost one, frozen in time, he throws the pocket watch overboard. And tethered by chains in the deep, he throws the necklace overboard. Bind them to this world once more, he throws the ring overboard. Open the door to the starry heavens. He slots the key into the lock of the music box. And lay the weary world to rest. He throws the music box overboard, its key left unturned. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh, goodness me. You try and bring your miso back, but I think you're probably going to bring something worse back. Oh no, all good. There she is. Oh, this is cool. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness gracious. What is that? It's Cthulhu! Ah, and that's the end? Okay, that's kind of cool. I like that, that's sweet. Oh! The world burns to bring this chick back. Ah. Right, well, looks like the lighthouse is smashed. Are you going to give me anything else? I don't really have the stomach for post-credits nonsense these days. I think it's been overdone. We're going to skip that. Alright, well, that's fine. I guess that's the end of the game. Well, first game clocked in our new sort of rotation system, I suppose. Now, if I were to press continue... it puts us back here. Thank goodness I save stated when I did. Okay, cool. Oh, well, that's a cool end. Thoughts? Maybe do a quick debrief. Almost a mini review. Maybe that's an idea. Do like a review. Okay, sure. Especially while the iron's hot, while it's fresh, as it were. Okay, well, cool. So, let me think about this. Oh, you know what? Actually, what I might do is I'll put a pin in it here. And then I might just immediately record a review, like just a thoughts review, and potentially put that up on the channel separate. That might even be better. Now this isn't necessarily the end of the game. We're not, you know, for us, there's still plenty of things to do, and depending on sort of reception, and if you guys chuck comments and say you'd like me to keep going, then we can do exactly that, because we still have parts of the book to fill out. We still have areas that we haven't really explored. And we also have pursuits that we can finish, like what's going on with the tablets, that sort of stuff. I know I failed one of the pursuits as well. And to be perfectly on top of that, this has been well received on the channel. I can't see why we couldn't potentially... Well, actually, can we play on a higher difficulty? What happens if I press new? Okay, so there's just the one difficulty. Okay, well that's fine. That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, well, I suppose we could just continue collecting some sort of things if we wanted to. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, a bit shorter, but that's what happens when you have a bit of an ending episode. I guess, you know, to put a bow on it, I really enjoyed this game. It was fun. Again, I mused that it became less of a fishing game and more of like a sort of narrative where you happen to catch fish occasionally, right? Though I suppose you could argue that the fishing games that exist out there, like, you know, fishing Barents Sea and angler games and all that, they don't really have a narrative. They have, you know, a simulation at their core. That's what they are. So I guess, like, I'm not against it or anything like that, but when I say the revelation out loud that it's more of a narrative that happens to have fishing trappings, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? We did overcome the economy kind of early, and arguably I did it later than what most did, from what it sounds like with the way that they fish. Sort of, if we reference, I got obsessed with crabbing pot, making crab pots and that early, because I saw the potential for a passive income in it. But then, we unlocked trawling, and we sort of came to realize that the economy in this is very casual, right? It's not necessarily weak, but it's not super duper robust. So I spent a bit of my early hours trying to set up to conquer an economy as one might if they were playing a sim or something like that. But it came to realize that it's all very light, the mechanics. That's probably the best way to put it, right? People don't like it when you say casual, because that infers some sort of lesser skill or lesser development quality. No, this is a fishing light game with a narrative in there, and obviously a fairly light horror element. In fact, if I were to describe this game as a whole, I would probably say it's a fairly light gaming experience, right? Not exactly super skill intensive, and the horror moments, there was a few jumps and a few great surprises, and they're wonderfully done, but it's not trying to terrify you into turning the game off. So I had a really good time with it, but yeah, that if I had to describe it in one word, I would say light. But I say that with a full heart and not in any way disparaging. Anyway, I had a really good time. Well, there you go. I suppose I've reviewed it in the end. There we go. Team, let me know if you do want to see some more. We can pump out a couple more episodes going around, picking up bits and bobs. We don't necessarily have to finish it up here, but I will just finish this episode here while we put an end on it. And I'd be curious, drop your comments. What are your thoughts? Did you enjoy it, Let me know if you've been with me for this playthrough. Let me know if you've been playing it yourself, what you thought of the ending. I thought it was a kind of little sweet ending. It didn't have to go too in depth or anything like that. It put a nice little neat bow on what was, generally speaking, a very pleasant experience. Not even generally speaking. I don't think I ever really got frustrated or ran into any problems. The closest thing I got to frustrated was that your engine upgrades become so speedy, but you never really get any handling upgrades. You end up drifting into rocks and all that, and you would have noticed that it almost reverse incentivizes you to keep your engine level low, because the speed became more of an embuggerance. It's almost like speeding and then getting stuck at the next red light. Did I really save myself any time? Maybe you might save a few seconds driving over a long distance because your engine was more powerful, but the drifting into rocks and taking damage because it became clumsy the faster, became Disney on Ice, skating around. That's probably the one complaint. If you held my feet to the fire and said, give us some negative feedback or positive, constructive criticism. Yeah, the engine system just seemed like you're strapped to a rocket by the end of it, which is great. It's a great meme, but especially when the last biome was so about maneuvering, it feels actually like a design decision, but not a clever one. One built on the back of, I wouldn't say they wanted to frustrate players, but perhaps they recognize, hey, by the time they've got 100 knot boat and they're up to the last thing, the steering becomes really, really hard. And instead of going, well, that's frustrating and not a great design component, maybe we should rework it, they're like, well, why don't we build a biome where you have to navigate these tiny little areas and all the enemies are there to to force you to speed through so as to avoid being bogged down by those enemies, without going into detail, because I might put this up as a review. So that feels like the final biome was kind of built around a sloppy maneuvering, speed upskilling endgame mechanic. So yeah, and actually, if we're gonna go in on that, I feel like the game was at its strongest when it still had a shroud of mystery over it before we got into the rhythm. Again, this isn't necessarily the game's fault. All games are going to be like that, right? Anything built on mystique loses a little bit of momentum once you start to raise the veil. And so once we started figuring out how the game worked and all the moving parts, it all became a little less enthralling, I suppose. But again, these are absolute, not high tier complaints. But the game was definitely at its strength in the first biome, the first 2 biomes. That's where it was really the strongest, when you were still learning how to play. Anyway, well, there you go. That's my thoughts on it, /review / I don't know. We're still working out this format. Let me know if you have any thoughts or suggestions around that. Team, might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.